In Germany, Tim and Liv are enjoying their married life. Liv becomes pregnant and the couple is thrilled, but their happiness turns to heartbreak when she loses the baby. Since then, Tim has thrown himself into his work as a programmer at a video game company. For the past 2 years, their relationship has grown cold and distant. Recently, their building has been covered with a large black tarp, while their landlord, Friedman, does renovations. One afternoon, they talk to Friedman on the street. He promises the work will be done soon. Just then, helicopters fly overhead and they spot smoke in the distance. A big fire has broken out in the harbor area. Later, Liv tells Tim she picked up their van from the repair shop, but seeing it only brings back painful memories for Tim. Liv also reveals she quit her job and wants to take a road trip to France to start over. She hopes the trip will help repair their strained relationship. Tim says no. He wants to finish his project first, but says they can talk about it later. Just then, Tim gets a work call, frustrating Liv even more. That night, Liv quietly cries in bed. Above their apartment, a strange cloud appears. The next morning, Liv says she can't take it anymore and plans to leave alone. But when she opens the door, she finds a solid black wall blocking the exit. Tim checks the doorbell camera, but it's dead. They run to the windows and discover those are also sealed by the same black wall. Liv tries calling Friedman, but there's no signal and the Wi-Fi is down too. Tim yells for help and throws himself against the wall, but nothing works. While trying to get a signal, Tim notices his phone glitching near the black bricks. He moves closer and the screen keeps flickering. They try using a drill, but it doesn't leave a mark. When they drill the regular walls, they realize the black bricks are covering those too. Suddenly, they hear noises from the wall shared with their neighbors. Liv drills through and sees Marvin and Anna, who are tracked just like them. Their phones don't work either, and they didn't hear anything unusual overnight. Anna cries, fearing they'll die there. Tim checks the kitchen and realizes there's no water. He suggests trying different solutions like in video games, which upsets Liv. She reminds him this isn't a game. They could have left yesterday. After a heated argument, she storms off. Tim throws his phone at the wall, and a piece of it sticks to the brick. When he pulls it off, it snaps back quickly. Liv returns with a mug, and when Tim takes the spoon, it also sticks to the bricks. They throw other metal items at the wall, confirming it's magnetic. Some areas are stronger than others, so Liv piles metal objects near those 4 spots. Suddenly, the metal starts shaking and flies at them. Tim pushes Liv out of the way, and several objects stab into his back. Liv removes them and cleans his wounds. Later, they hear screaming from the neighbor's apartment. Looking through the hole, they see signs of a fight. Everything goes silent, so Tim and Liv start breaking down the wall to make a bigger hole. Inside, they find Anna on the floor and help her. Marvin attacks Tim with a bat, but Liv sprays him with pepper spray and Tim knocks him down. Tim threatens Marvin, but Anna defends him, saying she hit him by accident while trying to break the wall. Liv and Tim tie up Marvin for safety. Tim finds a door marked "No Entry" and forces it open. Liv joins him, and they find digital cameras and an axe. Tim tries the axe on the wall, but it does nothing. Marvin wakes up, confused, but apologizes when he hears what happened. He explains he took too much medicine after getting hit. The couple makes up and kisses. Liv then remembers the building is old and likely has a war shelter with a tunnel to the subway. She thinks they can escape by going down. They break through the floor and confirm the black wall doesn't block below. Tim uses bed sheets as a rope to climb down and finds Oswald pointing a gun at him. Tim says he means no harm, and Oswald's granddaughter Leah calms him down. The group descends. Tim cuts Marvin's tape, which Oswald finds suspicious. Marvin starts breaking the floor while Leah complains her phone isn't working. She mentions a fight with her girlfriend and says she first saw the black wall at 4 a.m. Tim checks the smoke detector and finds a hidden camera. Oswald didn't know it was there, but says Friedman installed them. They find more cameras in the kitchen. Liv remembers Friedman lives next door, so they break through the shared wall and find a strange collection of items. They discover Friedman dead, missing his arms. Liv panics and runs off. Tim finds Friedman's phone, which has photos of the black walls. Back in the apartment, they start breaking through the floor again. Oswald hasn't heard anything, and Leah helps calm him with his meds. Liv wonders if the harbor fire is connected, but Tim doubts it. Suddenly the floor collapses, and they all fall into the apartment below. Liv fetches the ladder and checks on Tim. Everyone has minor injuries. Oswald is nervous about climbing down, but the group helps him. There, they meet Yuri, a friend of a tenant named Anton, who has died. Yuri claims a heart attack caused by the magnetic wall triggered his death. Leah notices strange papers and grows suspicious. Yuri believes the walls are protection from the deep state and wants them to stay, but the group refuses. Leah catches Yuri destroying a paper when she leaves the room. They finally reach the basement and open a door to a sealed exit labeled for shelters. It's blocked by the black wall. Marvin panics and hits it with a mace. Tim stops him and Oswald aims his gun until Marvin calms down. But Marvin suddenly grabs the gun and fires at the wall. The bullets float in midair because of the magnetic field. Remembering what happened before, Tim tells everyone to duck. Sadly, Oswald is too slow and is killed. Leah weeps over his body. Back upstairs, Anna wonders if they were chosen for a reason. She reveals she was dead for 2 minutes after a bike accident. Others share their trauma. Leah lost her mom. Yuri killed someone while on duty. Marvin just killed Oswald, and Liv had a miscarriage. Tim refuses to talk, but Liv insists. They argue loudly. Liv accuses Tim of shutting her out after the miscarriage, leaving her to grieve alone. She says he abandoned her. She storms off. Tim decides to help now and searches Friedman's apartment for more clues. Leah wants to check Anton's notes. She finds a paper with a pattern similar to the black bricks and discovers Anton worked at a nanotech defense company. They find a broken laptop and phone. In Friedman's apartment, Tim notices a hollow wall. Marvin finds a remote control, and Tim narrows the password by checking the worn-out buttons. They keep digging through Anton's trash. Leah finds a note with the word code. Yuri suddenly laughs, saying radiation might leak in if the wall is opened. Anna interrupts. She's found something. Anton had made an app to scan the black bricks. It reveals 4 special spots that must be triggered with light. Using the broken phone, Tim recreates the app and installs it on another phone. They use the app and the bricks turn liquid. Anna touches the wall. It feels warm and alive. But as she pushes her hand in, the wall grabs her. The others try to pull her back, but it's too late. The wall solidifies, cutting her in half. Marvin sobs over her body. Yuri says they'll never escape, and Marvin shoots him in rage before turning the gun on himself. Later, Tim apologizes to Liv. He says he broke after the miscarriage and didn't know how to handle it. They reconcile and embrace. Tim decides to try the app again. Liv notices the light blinks in a pattern, and they review footage to find the right order. Meanwhile, Yuri wakes up and attacks Tim and Liv. They fight, and Liv falls through a hole. Tim follows to help. They run through the basement and find another black wall. Liv uses the app. Just then, Yuri catches up and chokes Tim. The app works, but the wall begins to close. Tim tells Liv to go, but she refuses. She hits Yuri with the mace, and they escape. Outside, the town is also covered in black bricks. Their van is safe, so they drive off. On the radio, the news confirms the harbor fire caused the entire event.